Thank you. Okay. Yeah. Mic check 1 2. Mic check 1 2.
Good day and good evening. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. We welcome you to today's education based IHSAA Varsity Boys Baseball game. This radio coverage is made possible through audiosportsonline.net. That's ASO. That's Rob Kendall. Rob Kendall from the Kendall and Casey Show, weekday mornings, 9 to noon on 93.1 FM. Or you can go to WIBC.com. Today's game features the Central Catholic Knights and the West Lafayette Red Devils. Going to be the second game of a two-game set. Last night's game went 3 hours and 41 minutes. It took 8 innings. West Lafayette got the victory 14-9. So they're talking it over right now. Coach Bourdonnais is with his players. They're all taking a knee out there in foul territory, left field area. Talking it up right now. 5:53 on the wristwatch. Umpires are here. They're chatting with Coach Aaron Wood. They're around home plate, and they're dragging the field right now. They just had batting practice, and the Knights are going to break up their meeting right there, and they're dragging the field. It's kind of dusty, but it got up to 79 degrees today. 79. They're saying next week we're going to see 85. So for the latter part of April, a lot of baseball, and the weather's getting better. I'll tell you what, we'll talk a little bit about each school. We'll mention the visiting team on the scoreboard. That's the Lafayette Central Catholic Knights. They have a school enrollment of 302. Their school was founded in 1956. They're Class 2A, Sectional 37. There are 7 in their sectional. And alphabetically, they are Benton Central Bison, Delphi Oracles, Central Catholic Knights, North Montgomery Chargers, Rensselaer Central Bombers, Seeger Patriots, Western Boone Stars. The sectional will take place at Lafayette Central Catholic High School. We'll mention Lafayette Central Catholic. Their principal is Mr. Darrell Beck. The athletic director is Tim Bourdonnais. The assistant athletic director is Charlie Roberts. The athletic trainer is Sarah Igo. Central Catholic High School is located at 2410 South Ninth Street, Lafayette, Indiana, 47909. You can dial them by telephone at 765-474-2496. On the web, it's lccathletics.com. They wear the collars navy blue and white. They perform in the Hoosier Conference. There are 9 teams in the Hoosier Conference, and they are alphabetically Benton Central Bison, Central Catholic Knights, Hamilton Heights Huskies, Logansport Berries, Rensselaer Central Bombers, Tipton Blue Devils, Twin Lakes Indians, West Lafayette Red Devils, and the Western Panthers. The head coach of Central Catholic High School baseball team is Tim Bourdonnais. Tim Bourdonnais, he's a 1987 graduate from Central Catholic. His coaching staff, wearing number 21, that's A.J. Bourdonnais, 22, Kevin Donahoe, 26, Fred Rogers, 31, Will Isom, 43, David Sterrett, 44, John Anthrop, and 39, James Smith. We'll talk a little bit about the West Lafayette Red Devils. Red Devils, they have a school enrollment of 750. Their school was founded in 1939. They're Class 3A, Sectional 23, 7 in their sectional. Their sectional will happen at Logansport. That'll be on synthetic field turf. In their sectional is Logansport Berries, Mechanical Braves, Northwestern Tigers, Peru Tigers, Twin Lakes Indians, West Lafayette Red Devils, Western Panthers. The principal at West Lafayette High School is Chad Rogers. The athletic director is Mr. Joel Strode. The athletic trainers, there are 2, Steffi Anderson and Gusta Owens. West Lafayette High School is located at 1105 Grant Street, Lafayette, Indiana, 47906. Their phone number is 765-746-0400. On the website, you can find them at westlafayetteathletics.com. They wear the collars scarlet, red, and gray. They perform in the Hoosier Conference. Head coach is Aaron Wood. His assistant coaches are Brandon Sabella, Mark LeBeau, Andy Dunscombe, and Andrew Sabella. So they're mentioning the starting lineups right now. I'm going to introduce the West Lafayette. West Lafayette Red Devils being introduced. The public address announcer, very kind gentleman. His name is Brian, and the scoreboard operator is Jason. Jason's going to help us out. Going to be quick on the board so we can get him going. Appreciate that. Jason, you go to school here?
Yes, I do.
What grade you in?
Eighth grade.
You having fun?
Yes, I am.
West Lafayette, quite a nice place.
Yes, it is.
He's going to put down a pretzel right there. I tell you what, that pretzel, if you didn't know, it's got 3 holes in it. Father, Son, Holy Spirit. That's the way a pretzel is. So they're introducing the lineups right now. And they're running out, taking their place on the field. Home team, West Lafayette Red Devils. And should be quite a ball game. Knights are going to wear all gray uniforms with the blue numerals and blue stirrups. And West Lafayette going to go with the white uniforms. Gray numerals outlined in scarlet red. So they're finishing up the lineups right there. A couple of new pitchers going to pitch today. It's going to be Vince Talenko for Lafayette Central Catholic. And it's going to be Joe Doty for West Lafayette Red Devils. We're going to stand up and set this down for the national anthem. That's our national anthem. Flag is at half staff for Pope Francis. All across the United States, half staff flag began yesterday. So they're going to get warmed up on the pitching surface. It's going to be West Lafayette, home team in the field first. Talking right there is Calvin Snyder, a freshman catcher, talking with the pitcher, Joe Doty. Joe Doty wears number 17. Joe Doty is a member of the sophomore class. So he's going to get warmed up. We'll mention Joe Doty on the season. We'll not mention his ERA. We'll mention this is his third appearance. He's pitched 1 1/3 innings thus far on the season. He's got 8 runs. He's allowed 8 runs. 8 of those runs were earned. And base on balls, he's given up 5. He's faced 14 batters. He's thrown 56 pitches. He has walked 5 batters, and he's looking for his first strikeout. So he's going to get warmed up. His catcher is Calvin Snyder. He wears number 24. At first base is Aiden Heap. Aiden Heap will give way to batter Fisher Trotsky. Fisher Trotsky will bat in the 8th spot. Fisher will wear number 14. He'll be the DH. At second base, it'll be Lincoln Furry. Lincoln Furry wears number 16. At shortstop, number 3, L.J. Whitford. At third base, it's Corbin Keene. Corbin Keene wears number 23. In left field, number 7, Colin Castens. In center field, number 2, Ben Worth. And in right field, number 6, Braylon Crisp. So home plate umpire getting behind the catcher there, looking at a couple. They're going to throw one down here momentarily. 2 more pitches. Home plate umpire says 2 more, and we'll get started. So working right there. Knight's going to bat first. Leadoff batter in this game is going to be Hudson Gutwine, number 9. Second batter will be number 12, Alex Schumer. And third batter for the Knights in the top of the first will be Lucas Gerke. He'll wear number 10. So we're going to throw one down. Calvin Snyder, a frozen rope to the shortstop, Whitford. And they're going to put the ball back in the hand of Joe Doty. So first batter in the ballgame going to be Hudson Gutwine. He'll be known as the leadoff batter in this game. There's only one. He'll step in, right-handed batter. Looks like a pretty good place to stand right there. Pretty good dirt. First pitch of the ball game from Doty. Right down meridian, strike called. 6:04. AT&T time. AT&T bringing this game to you over the waves, traveling in the atmosphere. Second pitch comes in outside low, ball 1. 1 ball, 1 strike. Joe Doty, a sophomore, pretty good sized young man. Peering over the glove, 1 foot on, 1 foot off, a right-handed pitcher. Picking up the signals from Calvin Snyder. Long peer. He'll begin the approach. Here comes the wind and the delivery. Going to short hop the plate there, off the glove. Snyder, they'll track that down. Alex Schumer will track it down. They'll throw a new ball out there. And might have got Snyder, not too bad. Home plate umpire gives him some time. 2 balls, 1 strike. Top of the first inning. Knights and the Red Devils. Pitch comes in high for ball 3. 3 balls, 1 strike. Knights and the Red Devils will have this game today, and then they'll both play on Friday. Different opponents, obviously. Here comes the 3-1 pitch. Short hop the glove, and you're going to draw a walk. So Hudson Gutwine Going to walk down to first
Now
base.
batting for the Knights,
Gutwein
Alex Schumer.
going to pick up base on balls, number 12. Number 12 on the season. So stepping in, Alex Schumer, a left-handed batter. Playing right field in today's ball game. Alex Schumer, pretty versatile. Catches, plays right field, plays second base, pitches. I wouldn't really call him a utility player. Lafayette checks first base. Here's the pitch from Doty. High and away, ball one. Hudson Gutwein at first base. Gutwein on the season leads the team with 9 stolen bases. He's yet to be thrown out. Lafayette, he'll check first base. Joe Doty. Here comes the pitch. High and above the zone, ball 2. 2 balls, no strikes. Joe Doty, sophomore athlete, peering in, looking at signals, out of the stretch. Now the set position, square in early to bunt is Schumer. We'll try a pickoff move at first base. Heap takes a throw, does not apply a tag. Safe at first is Gutwein. Left-handed batter, Alex Schumer. Out of the set position, Joe Doty. Corbin Keene is in on the grass at third base. You're going to pull the bat back. It's going to be a called strike. So 2 balls, 1 strike. Signals given. Coach Bourdonnais, third base. Several signals. We'll see if Gutwein is on his horse. Out of the set. Here comes the pitch. Swung on, ground ball. Third base, couldn't get a hold of it. Going to be fielded by Whitford at shortstop, and he's going to be safe at first. It's going to be an infield hit off the bat of Alex Schumer.
Schumer on with a single.
So moving to second base, Hudson Gutwein, 2 aboard, nobody out. Top of the first inning. Next batter going to step in for the Knights, number 10, 3-hitter, Lucas Gerke. Timeout on the field. Calvin Snyder going to jog out, talk with Joe Doty. So they tap gloves, and Snyder going to jog back behind home plate. Freshman catcher, Calvin Snyder. Freshman, third baseman, Corbin Keene. Left-handed batter, Lucas Gerke. Peering in, looking at signals. Out of the stretch, Joe Doty. Long stretch. Now out of the set, he'll check second base. Here comes the first pitch to Gerke. Inside and tight, ball 1. 1 ball, no strikes. Early going, top of the first. Timeout on the field. Aiden Heap had a shoe tie. He got it done in a hurry. So they'll call time. Time is back in. Ball's made live. Working in, out of the stretch. He'll step off the back. That's Joe Doty, and he'll step back in. He'll peer in, look for signals. Out of the stretch. Runners at first and second base. Nobody out. Top of the first. Out of the set, Joe Doty. Here comes the pitch to Gerke. Outside, ball 2. 2 balls, no strikes. Sun is shining. It's a beautiful day in Indiana. So they got up to 79 degrees today. Peering in, looking at signals. Now out of the set position, Doty. Squaring the bunt early is Gerke. Here comes the pitch. He'll pull the bat back. It's a strike called. Outside half. Count goes 2-2. Don't quote me. Don't quote me ever. All right, 2-1. 2-1 count to Gerke. Out of set, Joe Doty. He'll check second a couple of times. Here comes the pitch. Pitch comes in, strike called, and now it's 2-2. Got Brian and Jason up here, and probably 2 Jasons. We're not Friday the 13th, are we? 2 Jasons. So 2 out of 3 ain't bad. Out of set position, Joe Doty. He'll check second base. Here comes the 2-2 pitch to Gerke. He'll wave at it. He'll foul it left side, out of play. So Gerke protecting the zone, staying alive in that left-handed batter's box. Knights have 2 aboard, first and second base. Hudson Gutwein got an infield hit, and Alex Schumer at first drew a walk. Peering in, looking at signals. Joe Doty out of the set. He'll check second. And here comes a 2-2, second time to Gerke. He'll take it back up the middle. It's going to be fielded by the second baseman. They'll go 4-6. They'll go with 3. Couldn't get it. Ball gets by Heap at first base. Coming around third base, going to score the first run in the ball game is Hudson Gutwein. So it's going to be a fielder's choice. Gutwein is going to move to second base on the overthrow at first base. And it's a 1-0 contest. And the Knights going to have a base runner at second base. It's Lucas Gerke, as Alex Schumer is forced out at second base. And that was Lincoln Furry to L.J. Whitford, the shortstop. Peering in, looking at signals. 4-hitter Mikey Stapleton. He'll call time in the batter's box. And they'll reset. He'll step back in. Mikey Stapleton, a junior class member, plays shortstop for the Knights. Out of the set, Joe Doty checks second a couple of times. Here comes the pitch. Swung on, ground ball. It's going to be a foul ball. Good effort there at third base by Corbin Keene. Corbin Keene, quite an athlete. I mentioned last night, he's got a lot of upside in front of him. No balls, 1 strike. Mikey Stapleton, right-handed batter for the Knights. Working out a stretch, now the set. Joe Doty. Here comes the pitch. Breaking pitch in there for a strike. Started that breaking pitch at Stapleton's left elbow. It broke right in. Strike called. Count goes 0-2 to Stapleton. 4-hitter for the Knights. Working from the stretch, now the set position. Joe Doty. Here comes the 0-2 pitch. He'll let it go by. It's going to bounce one time off the glove of Calvin Snyder, laterally to his right. He'll pick it up by that time. Lucas Gerke is at third base. So 1 out, top of the first inning, 1 run in for the Knights. Runner at third base is Gerke. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Mikey Stapleton. Here comes the pitch. He'll take one the other way. He'll get a right field. Backing up, Braylon Crisp. Going to make the catch. Going to tag at third base is Gerke. The throw is on target, but just behind. Scoring at the plate on a feet first slide is Gerke. There's 2 runs on the board here in the first inning for the Knights. So Braylon Crisp showing his strong arm from right field. Throw is on target, just a little behind. Gerke reaching home. So stepping in, bases are empty. 2 out, top of the first. Number 3, Jackson Kane, he's the DH. Out of the set, here comes the pitch. High and away, ball 1. Joe Doty electing to go with the stretch, nobody on, nothing wrong with that. Roger Clemens made a living. Out of the set, here comes the 1-0 pitch. Swung on, ground ball shortstop, L.J. Whitford to throw across the diamond, and he'll get the putout with Aiden Heap. So the Knights are out of the inning, but not before. Knights pick up 2 runs in the top of the first. And the Knights going to play defensively. And West Lafayette, Red Devils, going to bat here in the bottom of the first inning. We'll mention some games coming up here in the future. Coming up yet on Friday, a 6 o'clock start for Central Catholic. They'll be home with Lafayette Jeff, the Broncos. They're calling for some rain. Check the forecast. Not sure what's going to happen. That'll be Friday, the 25th. And then also West Lafayette, the Red Devils. They're going to have a home game right here at West Lafayette. They'll have Covington. That's going to be a 5:30 start on Friday, the 25th. Then next week, both teams have 4 games scheduled. We'll talk about those in a moment. This game is in part being brought to you by Fritz Inn Fishers and Fritz Inn Noblesville, celebrating 43 years in business. In the heart of the Nickel Plate District, late model cars and trucks, each vehicle pre-delivery inspection. They have 2 Hamilton County locations. One is in Fishers, 8599 East 116th Street. You can dial them up by telephone at 317-842-2228. Noblesville, that's between Noblesville and Westfield on State Road 32. You can dial them up at that dealership, 317-773-2733. 2232. That's FritzInFishers.com. That's FRITZ. So pitching for the Knights is Vince Telenko. Vince Telenko wears number 25. Vince Telenko on the season, he's got an ERA of 3.00. He's pitched 7 innings. This is his third start. It's his third start as a pitcher. It's his third appearance. He's faced 32 batters, thrown 93 pitches. His win-loss record is 1-0. He's given up 9 hits. He's given up 5 runs. 3 of those runs were earned. He's walked 1 batter. He struck out 2. They both went down looking, and he's hit 1 batter along the way. Catcher today in today's ballgame is Ethan Miller. Ethan Miller wears number 29. At first base, Lucas Gerke, number 10. Second base, Hudson Gutwein, number 9. At shortstop, Mikey Stapleton, number 11. At third base, DJ Gilkey, number 33. In left field, number 41, Brennan Van Kirk. In center field, number 13, Calvin Reisman. And in right field, number 12, Alex Schumer. Jackson Kane is doing the DHing. Jackson Kane is batting in place of defensive player. Number 29, the catcher, Ethan Miller. So first batter going to stand in for West Lafayette. Where's number 3? One hitter is L.J. Whitford. Plays the shortstop position. He's going to bat right. Facing the righty, Vince Telenko. First pitch to Whitford, called strike inside half. No balls, 1 strike. He'll step back in. One hitter likes to show pitches to the dugout. Now the pitch on the way, float 1 right side, foul ball, going to go out of play. Count goes 0-2. L.J. Whitford. L.J. Whitford, also a member of the freshman class. Coach Aaron Wood definitely has a future with his baseball team. Going to be a ground ball up the middle, base hit. Going to roll into center field, picked up by Calvin Reisman. And third pitch to Whitford is a base hit up the middle.
Number 7, Colin.
Next batter going to step in for the Red Devils, Colin Castens. He wears number 7. He plays left field for West Lafayette. Right-handed batter, checks the wristband, steps in. Whitford at first base. He's putting that sliding mitt on. Not giving him a chance to put it on very much. He's going to wrap it around while the game's going on. Going to put a bunt down, foul, right side, out in front of the West Lafayette dugout. So late try at that bunt. Might have been going for a hit and a bunt, trying to move the runner. He'll step back in, 0-1 count, Colin Castens. Number 7, Colin Castens, a member of the sophomore class. So Telenko fakes a throw to first base, steps off the back, becomes an infielder, fakes a throw to Gerke, back in the stretch. Now the set position. Here comes the pitch. Breaking pitch, evidently just missed. Count goes 1-1. 1 ball, 1 strike. He'll step back in, tap the plate. Colin Castens, Colin. Pickoff move, first base. Going to get by Gerke. Going to go back near the foul fence. And Whitford going to take second base easily. So pickoff move just off target. Going to give a base away to Whitford. He's at second base with nobody out. 2-hitter at the plate, number 7, Colin Castens. Colin Castens, straightaway stance. Peering in, looking at signals. Signals from Ethan Miller, out of the set. Telenko, here's the pitch. Pitch comes in above the zone. A ball, count goes 2-0. 2 balls, no strikes. Check that. 2-1 count. He fouled 1 off on the bunt at Simps. 2-1 count to Castens. Peering in, looking at signals. Out of stretch. Now the set. He'll check second base. Here comes the pitch. Outside edge, strike call. Count goes 2-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes. 1 foot in, 1 foot out. Step back in. Colin Castens, 2-hitter for West Lafayette. Runner aboard at second base is L.J. Whitford. Step off the back does Telenko. He'll step back in the rubber. Telenko wears 25. He's a member of the junior class. Out of the set, here comes a 2-2 pitch. He'll foul one back to the screen. 2 balls, 2 strikes. He'll stay in that box again with a 2-2 count. In the stretch right there is Vince Talenko. Peer in, look at signals. Now out of the set, he'll check second. 2-2 pitch. Outside of ball. 3-2 count. Count goes full to Castens. Vince Talenko getting acclimated on the pitcher's rubber. Peering in, looking at signals. 3-2 count. Here comes the payoff pitch. Swung tight, inside tight, ball 4. So Castens going to make it to first base. Bases occupied, first and second, nobody out.
Now batting.
Next batter going to step in for West Lafayette. Will be number 2, Ben Worth. Ben Worth, left-handed batter. Ben Worth does have a home run on the season. Calvin Snyder got his first last night. Out of set position, Vince Talenko. Here comes the pitch. Swung on, he's going to pop one. Center field. Going to back up, move to his left. Calvin Reisman. Going to tag at second. He's going to try for third. That's L.J. Whitford. And he'll make it standing up. No throw. It's cut by Mikey Stapleton. So, 1 out on the diamond. Whitford to third base. At first base, right there is Colin Castens. Be a fly out off the bat of Ben Worth. So batter going to step in. It's going to be the 4th hitter. He's doing the pitching in today's ball game. That's Joe Doty, another right-handed batter. The runners at first and third. They got walk-up music. We got Tom Petty, an American Girl, for Joe Doty. Out of the set. Here comes the pitch. Breaking pitch, misses low. Ball 1. 1 ball, no strikes. West Lafayette batting in the bottom of the first inning. Last night, 3 hours, 41 minutes. What a ball game. 8 innings. Here comes the pitch. Outside, ball 2. So we'll check the wristband. Joe Doty will step in. Right-handed batter. Runners at first and third base. Colin Castens might be on his horse on this pitch. We'll see. He's not. Going to be a ground ball, third base. Going to get by the glove of Gilkey. They'll go into left field, down the left field line. Picked up there by Brennan Van Kirk. He'll toss it in. It's going to be an RBI single off the bat of Joe Doty. Coming in to score from third base is L.J. Whitford. So 1 run on the board for West Lafayette. 1 out here in the bottom of the first inning. 2-1 ball game. Knights in front. Stepping in with 1 out. Number 16, 5-hitter Lincoln Furry. He plays second base. Runners at first and second base. Here comes the pitch. Breaking pitch in there for a strike. No balls, 1 strike, 1 foot in, 1 foot out to look for signals. Very few given by Coach Wood. Mentioned Coach Wood. His dad might be listening. 27 years basketball coach at West Lafayette. Here comes the pitch. You're going to take one the other way. You'll go to right field. It's going to be airborne. It'll be picked off right there. Alex Schumer makes the catch. There are 2 out. And both runners retreat back to their respective bases. So next batter going to step in for West Lafayette. It's going to be number 6, Braylon Crisp. Braylon Crisp showing off that arm in right field on that throw to the plate. Braylon Crisp plays right field, right-handed batter. Working from the stretch, now the set. Vince Talenko, first pitch to Crisp. Going to pop one up. This is going to be playable. It's going to be playable. Looking to give it a run right there is Ethan Miller. He'll slide feet first toward the fence and not make the catch. Home plate umpire was right there to verify. But that's the way to do it. If that object is in front of you, the fence, you slide feet first. And pretty good sportsmanship right there. Braylon Crisp picks up the mask for Ethan Miller, the catcher. IHSAA, they smile when they see stuff like that. No balls, 1 strike. Peering in, looking at signals. Out of the stretch. And It looks like Ethan Miller going to jog over, talk to Coach Bourdonnais. Might have broke the shin guard, that left shin guard. He's going to readjust the chest protector. On that slide, he might have knocked some things loose. So Coach Bourdonnais is going to fix him up, and he does. So Ethan Miller going to jog back behind home plate. He's ready to go. There are 2 out. Bottom of the first inning. 2 aboard for West Lafayette, first and second base. So stepping back in, 0-1 count to number 6, Braylon Crisp. Out of the stretch, peering in looking for signals. Vince Talenko out of the set. Here comes the pitch. Right down meridian, strike called. Count goes 0-2. No balls, 2 strikes. Braylon Crisp batting here in the bottom of the first inning. Working out the stretch, now the set. Here comes the pitch. Outside and low, ball 1. 1 ball, 2 strikes. 6 hitter. Where's number 6? Braylon Crisp, right-handed batter. From the stretch, peering in looking at signals. Vince Talenko out of the set. Here comes the pitch. Taking off for third base. Steal is going to happen. I'm not sure what the call was at the plate. It's evidently ball 2. 2 balls, 2 strikes. And they steal third base. And Colin Caston's now at third. Joe Doty stays at first base on the steal. So runners on the corners, 2-2 counts. Crisp, peering in, looking at signals. Talenko, here comes the pitch. He'll take it to second base. Hudson Gutwein on a hop. He'll flip it to second base. And Mikey Stapleton takes the throw. So the Knights get out of the inning after 1 complete. Central Catholic 2, West Lafayette 1. And we do thank you for tuning in. And we'll mention this game is in part being brought to you by McCormick Printing. Before we dive back into action, we want to spotlight a business that's been printing success in our community for 50 incredible years. McCormick Printing Impressions. From business cards to banners, T-shirts to office supplies, MPI is your local full-service print shop delivering quality, great service, and creativity in every project. Family-owned and operated for 2 generations, MPI knows that your first impression matters, so they make sure it's a good one. Next time you need something printed for perfection, turn to MPI, because at McCormick Printing Impressions, they don't just print, they help you make your best impression. So, well, we got a gentleman going to visit with us here in a moment. Shane Fry, you've been to the softball game, haven't you?
Yeah, softball game was going well. We were up big on CC, so I decided to come over and check out the baseball game.
That's a 5 o'clock start. Your wife, Chauncey, is the head coach.
Yep. I think this is like her 11th year, so she's been doing a long time. Just got her 100th win a couple games ago, so it was a big deal for her and the team, and they're playing well right now.
We're going to talk in a minute, okay?
Got it.
Stepping in for the Knights, top of the second inning. Stepping into bat, DJ Gilkey, left-handed batter, peering in, looking at signals. Going to pitch from the stretch. Nothing wrong with that. Primarily thinking of a relief pitcher, Joe Doty, just a sophomore. Peering in, looking at signals. Signals from Calvin Snyder, freshman catcher. They're going to call time. Gilkey, they're going to call it a balk. They're going to call it a ball. Evidently took too long to deliver the pitch. I know in Babe Ruth, you got 20 seconds once you get the baseball. Here comes the pitch. Ground ball, going to be a base hit. Well, see, got the glove on it at first base, Heap, but it goes into right field. Base hit, DJ Gilkey. Gilkey gets himself aboard. So stepping in for the Knights, next batter, going to be Brennan Van Kirk. Van Kirk, he took a hit by pitch last night, exited the ball game about the first inning, sat out the rest of the game. Colton Minnick came in to play left field for Van Kirk, and Van Kirk is back in the lineup today. So he'll step in, right-handed batter. Tap the plate near. Working from the stretch. Now out of the set. Joe Doty, first pitch to Van Kirk. Above the zone, ball one. So 1 ball, no strikes. And yeah, he'll step back in. Brennan Van Kirk working out of the stretch. Now the set. Joe Doty, here's the pitch. The short hop the glove. Good stop by Calvin Snyder. Count goes 2-0. 2 balls, no strikes. Top of the second inning. Working from the stretch, Joe Doty. Joe Doty, don't mince. He don't waste any time. Here comes the pitch. Outside edge, strike called. Van Kirk in the batter's box, 2-1 count. Signals being given by Coach Bourdonnais. At first base, DJ Gilkey. Van Kirk's second batter here in the top of the second inning. Out of the set, here comes the pitch. Breaking pitch inside, tight for ball 3. 3 balls, 1 strike. 1 foot in, 1 foot out. Not many signals given. 3-1 count to Van Kirk. Out of the set, Joe Doty. Here comes the pitch. Outside, ball 4.
Van Kirk draws the walk.
So he'll jog down to first base. 2 aboard for the Knights. Next batter going to step in, 8-hitter, number 13, Calvin Reisman. And going to be a timeout on the field. And the coach is going to run out. That's the pitching coach. And I tell you what, Shane Fry, I checked you out here. I know one time we talked, you had an 84% winning percentage. You've dropped that to 82.1.
Yeah, not really something I've seen or know, but we've had a lot of good players, and it's got us a lot of wins over the years.
I tell you what, you talk about your wife getting her 100th win. You've got 124 wins, just 27 losses.
Yeah, like I said, we've had a lot of good teams, a lot of good players. It's fun going to work every day when you work with kids like that, and that's what both my wife and I love to do.
We're going to talk about your children too here in a moment. You got a couple of girls. I think your oldest one's 8 years old now, right? Yep. So out of the set, Joe Doty, 2 aboard, first and second. We'll square the bunt. Reisman, he'll put a bunt back to the pitcher. Reisman, oh my, going to be thrown away there. It's going to be right side. It's going to go into shallow right field, foul territory. DJ Gilkey going to come in to score. And Joe Doty just didn't get a good release of that baseball after he fielded the bunt.
LCC up 3-1.
So a 3-1 contest, top of the second. Last night we saw West Lafayette pick up 5 runs in the 8th inning. Set to step in, 9-hitter, number 25, Vince Talenko. Working out a stretch, now the set. Here comes the pitch, high above the zone, ball 1. Home plate umpire kind of letting Joe Doty start his stretch a little bit early. You're going to pitch from the windup with a guy on second and third. Here comes the pitch. Short hops the glove. Good block by Snyder. Calvin Snyder. Pretty tall young man. Without being next to him, I'd guess he's 6'2", at the least. So 1 foot in, 1 foot out. Looking at signals. Stepping back in. Vince Talenko. Here comes the pitch. Outside a ball. 3 balls, no strike. And 25, Vince Talenko, pitching for the Knights. Probably going to have the take sign right here. So that home plate going to be wide open for Joe Doty. Here comes the wind and the pitch. Strike called, outside half. Count goes 3-1. 3 balls, 1 strike. Looking for signals, gets a hand clap signal. Runners at second and third. Here comes the wind and the pitch. Breaking pitch finishes high, ball 4.
Talenko draws the walk here in the
So Talenko going to go to first base. It's going to load up the bases. And Coach Aaron Wood's going to call to his bullpen. He's going to bring in a lefty. He'll get some warm-up tosses. And we're going to talk to Shane Fry once again. He's one of my favorite guys to talk to. I got to mention you. I told you this last year. Of all the coaches in football I've ever talked to, you're my favorite.
Hey, I appreciate that, AJ. You're the best radio announcer in the business, so that works.
You're nice. I tell you what, last 3 years. Last year you were 8-4. 23 you were 9-4. And then Bishop Chittard beat you in the semi-state in 22. You rattled off the first 13 in a row.
Yeah, that was a really special year, special team. I always will remember that semi-state game. We lost, but man, it was. was 0 degrees or negative. It was a tough game. It was at home. It was a good environment, but we just couldn't quite get it done. And, Bishop Chatard is their record speaks for itself, and they're a tough team to beat.
I tell you what, last 3 years, your record 30-9. Let's go back to 2018. I followed your team, except for the very last game I had a basketball game, but I watched you on my computer. But let's talk about that. Evansville Memorial gave you all they wanted, but you beat them for the state title, 47-42.
Yeah, I still think that's one of the all-time great games in Indiana high school football. It's got to rank right up there. And obviously, no team really deserved to lose that game, but we're thrilled that we came out on top. Our kids just gritted it out because anybody could have won. And, it was kind of whoever had the ball last, and we were able to score and hold them for the last, 20 seconds. And still remember celebrating on the field that day. It was a special time.
Let me ask you this. Was George Karloftis on your team that game?
Yeah. Yep. That was George's senior year. So, a big defensive end for us. And obviously we've seen what George did at Purdue and now the Kansas City Chiefs. And, that's a huge reason why we were where we were. But, George would be the first to tell you, he had a lot of teammates that did a heck of a job also. So it was a total team effort that year. We had a disappointing 2017. We lost in the regional, and those guys just came back. And all summer, they said, we're not losing again. And that's exactly what happened.
I tell you what, George Karloftis, 3 years in the NFL. He's played in 3 Super Bowls. He won the first 2.
Yeah, how about that? That's really all he knows is playing in the Super Bowl. And, he kind of slipped draft day, but it worked out for the best. And he got to a tremendous organization, the Kansas City Chiefs. And, the rest is history. He's made himself a starter and been to 3 Super Bowls and won 2 of them. That's more than a lot of people will ever do in their career. And he's lucky enough to do his first 3 years in the league. So it's outstanding.
We'll talk about it in a minute. I haven't even been to a Super Bowl. I can't afford it. You haven't either, but you've seen him play at Kansas City. I know that. So stepping in, it's going to be Hudson Gutwein, one hitter for the Knights. You're going to take one to right center field. It's going to back up Worth. Worth's going to give it an effort. It's going to get by. They're going to go the gap. They go the fence. The base of the fence. It'll be thrown in by right fielder, Braylon Crisp, and he's going to clear the bases. So he's going to end up with a double and 3 RBIs. And Hudson Gutwein on the season going to pick up RBI number 10, 11, and 12. On the season, he picks up double number 5. He's now got 10 hits on the season. Take that back. He's got 9 RBI. 9 RBI and now 10 hits. So stepping in is Alex Schumer. 1 runner aboard. Gutwein at second base. Working out a stretch. Now the set. Going to step off the back. He'll be set. So peering in, looking at signals. Out of the stretch. Schumer, left-handed batter, facing the lefty. Here comes the pitch. Breaking pitch just misses. Outside. Ball 1. Excuse me. Yes, ball 1. Now doing the pitching for West Lafayette is number 20, Maddox Bramer. Maddox Bramer, he's a senior. We saw him pitch last evening. He had a short relief roll. Out of the set, he'll check second. Checks it again. Here's the pitch. Going to be a ball hit shortstop. And that was to Whitford. Whitford, if he wasn't holding on the runner or hovering around second base, would have called that in his normal position. He had a backtrack. He gave it an effort. Couldn't come up with it. It goes into left field. Colin Castens throws it in. And Hudson Gutwein moves to third base. So a base hit off the bat of Alex Schumer. Stepping into bat, 3-hitter Lucas Gerke. Gerke on the season played in 9 games. He's batting an even .400. On base percentage of .531. Here comes the pitch, inside and tight. Nearly got him, ball 1. Lucas Gerke on the season has been hit by pitch 3 times. He leads the team in hit by pitches. Left-handed batter facing the lefty. Bramer, here comes the pitch. Swung on, ground ball. Going to be between second and first base. Going to go slowly into right field on the ground. Braylon Crisp going to toss it in. It's going to be an RBI single off the bat of Lucas Gerke as Hudson Gutwein scores from third base. Next batter going to step in for the Knights. Number 11, Mikey Stapleton. Stapleton in 9 games, .333 batting average. He's got 9 hits. 8 are singles. He has 1 double. He leads the team with 10 RBI. Four-hitter, Mikey Stapleton. Out of the set, Maddox Bramer, here's the pitch. He thought about a bunt, pulls the bat back, ball one. 1 ball, no strikes. Mikey Stapleton, junior class member. He played second base in the first game for the Knights. Coach Bourdonnais switched Hudson and Mikey. And Mikey now the shortstop. Hudson is the second baseman. Peering in, looking at signals. Out of the stretch, Maddox Bramer. Out of the set, he'll check second. Here comes second pitch to Stapleton. Pitch comes in, strike called. 1 ball, 1 strike. Signals given, several signals given. Runners at first and second base for the Knights. Top of the second inning. Out of the set, here comes the pitch. Gonna be a full swing, gonna be a foul ball back to the screen. Count goes 1-2. 1 ball, 2 strikes. On deck is Jackson Kane. In the hole is DJ Gilkey. He'll track that ball down. Peering in, looking at signals, out of the stretch. Maddox Bramer out of the set. Here comes the pitch. With a foul tip, going to get back behind the catcher, Snyder. He'll stay in the box with a 1-2 count. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Mikey Stapleton batting in the top of the second inning. Out of the set for Bramer. Check second. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss, and he'll strike him out. So Stapleton going to walk back to the dugout. And Knights have 1 out here in the top of the second. So Jackson Kane going to give a baseball replenishment. Jackson Kane, he's a pretty tough guy to defend, isn't he?
Yeah, he's a great football player.
Jackson Kane. So Jackson's going to step in. Right-handed batter. Out of the set, Bramer. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. Right-handed batter. Jackson Kane. Jackson Kane, a senior. Plays slot receiver, plays linebacker. He ended up with over 100 tackles on defense this season. Here comes the pitch. He'll take one the other way. Crisp going to have to track it down. It's down to the first baseline. He's going to round first. Crisp is going to pick it up a second time. And Knights are going to score 2 runs. And it's probably going to be a double for Kane and a 2 RBI. Coming in to score was Alex Schumer and Lucas Gerke. So timeout on the field, and Jackson takes off that lower apparatus on that left ankle. And he'll do the base running at second base. Stepping into bat, DJ Gilkey. Gilkey got himself aboard with a base hit his first time up. Gilkey going to step in, batting .240. Here comes the pitch. Short hops a glove. Good block by Calvin Snyder. Gilkey, a .240 batting average, .296 on base. He's played in 8 games of the 9. Left-handed batter. Gilkey, plate appearances, 28, 25 at-bats. Out of set, checks second base. Checks it again. Here's the pitch from Bramer. High and tight for a ball. Count goes 2-0. 2 balls, no strikes. Jackson Kane is at second base. He got a double and 2 RBI. Out of the set, Bramer's going to pitch. Just missed. Must have been just low. Ball 3. 3 balls, no strikes. Left-handed batter, probably the take sign. Not many people get the green light from Coach Bourdonnais. I can think of 2. Here comes the pitch. Strike called. 3 balls, 1 strike. Bramer can step back in. He'll peer in, look at signals from Calvin Snyder. Long peer, now out of the set. He'll check second. 2 times, here comes the pitch. Above the zone, ball 4. So Gilkey going to run to first base. Knight's going to have 2 aboard, first and second. And Calvin Snyder going to go to the pitcher's mound, talk with Bramer, along with L.J. Whitford, home plate umpire, going to walk out, break that up. Not a lot of timeouts allowed. If it's a coach's timeout, you get charged for a trip. But I'm trying to keep the game moving. Bramer's going to step back in the rubber. In the batter's box is going to be Brennan Van Kirk, number 41 for the Knights. Out of the set, he'll check second twice. Here's a pitch. Outside, ball one. Brennan Van Kirk, he leads the team with a .500 batting average, .538 on base. He's played in all 9 games. He's got 11 hits, 10 are singles, and 1 double. Out of the set, he's going to be pickoff move. He'll pirouette counterclockwise and make no throw. A step back in the rubber. Maddox Bramer, peering in, looking at signals. Out of the set, check second base. Here comes the pitch. Foul ball back to the screen. Count goes 1-1 to Van Kirk. Van Kirk is the left fielder. Van Kirk on the season has 7 RBI. He scored 5 runs. He's drawn 2 base on balls. Peering in, looking at signals. Out of the set, Maddox. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. And the ball's going to get by Snyder. The runners are going to move up 90 feet. Runners at second and third base. Jackson Kane is at third base. DJ Gilkey is at second base. 1 out, top of the second inning. Peering in, looking at signals. Out of the stretch, Maddox Bramer. Bramer, a senior class member. Out of the set, here comes the pitch. Swung on. Going to go to third base. They're going to throw across the diamond. And that was Corbin Keene gets the put out with Aiden Heap. There are 2 out on the diamond. So Van Kirk going to jog back to the dugout. He's going to carry everybody's apparatus right there. He's going to become a manager and run back to the dugout with the gear. So 2 outs on the diamond. Stepping in, Calvin Reisman. Out of the set, Bramer. Here's the first pitch to Reisman. He'll take it to center field. Going to back up Ben Worth, and it's going to be over his head. It's going to go up against the wall. And it's going to end up a double. Double off the bat of Calvin Reisman, and he scores Gilkey from third base. So 2 base hit RBI for Reisman. And Reisman picks up RBI number 2 on the season.
25, Vince Talingo.
Next batter going to step in for the Knights. 9-hitter. He's the pitcher. That is Vince Talenko. Peering in, looking at signals. Out of the stretch. Maddox Bramer checks second base. Out of the set. Here's the pitch. You're going to take one to left field. Going to have some air under it coming in to make the catch. It's Colin Castens. And the Knights are retired in the top of the second inning. So West Lafayette going to bat here in the bottom half after 1.5. Knights 11. Red Devils 1. We're going to continue this chat. I tell you what, Shane Fry starting up this season. You're going to have a 6A team, a 5A team, and a 4A team right out of the bat, and you're 3A.
Yeah, we try to make our schedule as difficult as possible. You know, in Indiana, it doesn't really matter if you win your regular season games. You're just trying to get better for the playoffs. And that's what we've done the last 10 years or so. Try to schedule up and play the best there is.
So you're going to start out with Harrison, McCutcheon, then Lebanon. And then you're going to back off a little bit. You'll have 2A, Rensselaer Central.
Yeah, our conference is mostly made up of, schools about our size, anywhere from 2A to 4A. It's a good conference, good small school football conference. But yeah, those opening games will be against little bigger schools, and then we'll get into conference action.
That sounds good. Hey, let's talk just a little bit about your wife, Chauncey Fry. How long you been married?
Going to be 10 years in June.
That's excellent. What's your anniversary date?
June the 6th.
That's very good. Hey, last night I got some information after the West Lafayette game. I was walking out with a dad and a player, and the player told me last night in the ball game, Bree Johnson hit 2 home runs for West Lafayette.
Yeah, she hit 2 last night, and I think she had one to open the game tonight. Had one a couple games ago. She's on a heck of a streak. Great kid, tough kid. She walks around school in a boot because she's got a stress fracture in her leg and just suits up at night and hits home runs. It's a great thing.
She wears number 10. Well, they're going to step in right now. We're not quite done yet. Appreciate that. So I'm stepping in, going to bat. It's going to be Calvin Snyder. Calvin Snyder, number 24. He's a 7 hitter. He does the catching. Pretty tall young man. He caught last night. Right-handed batter. Working against him, Vince Talenko. First pitch, bottom of the second. Swung on, ground ball. Back to the pitcher's mound. Gets by Talenko. He's going to throw to first base, and he's safe at first. Hudson Gutwine made the play on the left side of the second base side. The throw was good, but it was not in time. And Calvin Snyder picks up a base hit on the infield. But Calvin Snyder now has 8 hits on the season. He has 5 singles. Peering in, looking at signals out of the stretch. Vince Talenko. In the batter's box, Fisher Trotsky, the DH. First pitch, outside, ball 1. 1 ball, no strikes. Trotsky, the DH, he's looking for signals. Coach Aaron Wood not going to give many. Runner at first base is Calvin Snyder for West Lafayette. Here comes the pitch. You're going to take one over to shortstop. It's a soft liner. It's caught by Mikey Stapleton. Snyder had to get back in a hurry. He got his front side dirty, but he's safe. Head first back to first base.
Now batting, number 23.
Off the bat right there, I thought that was over Mikey's head. But no, he had lost energy. Stepping in, 23. 9-hitter, Corbin Keene. Corbin Keene started as the pitcher last evening. Out of the set, Talenko. Here's the pitch. Outside edge, knee high, called strike. No balls, 1 strike. He'll check the wristband. He'll step back in, tap the plate. Peering in, looking at signals. Vince Talenko checks first base out of the stretch. Now the set. Here comes the pitch. Breaking pitch, well placed. Perfectly placed breaking pitch from Talenko. Locked him up. It's an 0-2 count. Right-handed batter facing the righty, Vince Talenko. Out of the set, here comes the pitch. Swing and a miss. He'll try that same pitch. And Corbin Keene couldn't catch up to it. 2 outs here in the bottom of the second inning. We're going to see number 3. He's the 1-hitter for West Lafayette, L.J. Whitford. Whitford batting .296. He's played in all 7 games. A .406 on base percentage. He's got 8 hits, 7 are singles. He has 1 double. First pitch comes in low and inside, ball 1. Whitford has been to the plate 32 times entering this game. 27 at-bats. Right-handed batter, pretty good athlete. Whitford, just a freshman. Here comes the pitch. Pitch comes in above the zone, ball 2. 2 balls, no strikes. 1 foot in, 1 foot out. No wristband checking right there. He'll step back in. Runner at first base is Calvin Snyder. 2 outs here in the bottom of the second. Here's the pitch. Right across the dish. He'll let it go by. It's a called strike. 2-1 count to Whitford. L.J. Whitford, shortstop for the Red Devils. Out of the set, Talenko, here's the pitch. Going to pop one, foul territory. It would have been playable, but it got elevation and it fell to the grass. So giving it a good look there was Talenko and Ethan Miller, the catcher. Ethan Miller getting a chance to catch today. Coach Bourdonnais has had about 3, maybe 4 catchers. Jackson Kane had surgery right after football. He's still on the mend with that right arm, but he can bat. Out of the set, Talenko. Here's a 2-2 pitch. Checks his swing, ball's upstairs, 3-2 count. 3-2 count. Snyder is going to be on his horse with 2 outs. Out of the set, Talenko. Here comes the pitch. Short out the glove of Snyder. It's going to be ball 4. And L.J. Whitford has some wheels. Does Whitford play football?
Yeah, almost all these guys out here play football.
That's good news. So stepping in, number 7, Colin Castens. Colin Castens, right-handed batter. Runners at first and second base for West Lafayette. Out of set. Talenko, here comes the pitch. He'll take it, back up the middle, got the glove. Talenko was protecting himself. That line shot got the glove. He picked it up, threw it to first base. I tell you what, I've seen some bad clips on Facebook with MLB pitchers. And we'll mention at the end of 2, Central Catholic 11, West Lafayette 1. And Shane Fry. Shane Fry, I'm going to mention. Today I was in Bloomington. Now I'm in West Lafayette. I kind of like Bloomington better because I'm an IU fan. But that's all in one day.
Yeah, that's traveling the state there, but I'd have to disagree with being a Hoosier fan. So I'm Boilers.
That's okay. That's okay. I do like some of the Boilers. But I'm going to mention I was in Bloomington because my daughter Sierra celebrating her 29th birthday today.
Happy birthday to your daughter. That's great.
So I got 3 grandsons. But anyway, we'll mention Chauncey Fry and Mr. Shane Fry have 2 daughters. 1 daughter and 1 son, Meyer. 1 and 1. Talk about them.
Yeah, so we got our daughter is Aylin, and she's 8 years old, and son Austin is 5 years old, and they're both into a lot of stuff and keeps us busy, and we love watching them do what they like to do. So it's fun.
And you told me that you're done. 2's enough.
Yeah. So we're good with 2, and we definitely have our hands full, and but it's a lot of fun. And between the fall with football and the spring with softball, we make it work, and we wouldn't have it any other way.
Do you have a role there at the softball stadium?
No, I'm the sounding board at home. That's about it. Make sure the kids get to all their practices and sort of chauffeur them around during the spring.
Shane Fry, I'm out of questions. You're the best.
Hey, thanks, AJ. I appreciate you, and hope to see you soon, man. Take care.
God bless you.
Good to see you.
Love you, brother. All right, he's going to walk out of here. That's Shane Fry. He made a special trip from the softball stadium to come over here and talk with Put Me in Sports. What a gentleman. Tell you what, I said this last year when we talked to him, that their pregame warm-up for football is absolutely the best I've ever seen. Jiminy Christmas, and he gives credit totally to his staff. So stepping in, it's going to be that 3rd time for the night. It's going to be Hudson Gutwine. Hudson Gutwine wears number 9. He's played in 8 of the 9 games. He's batting .429 in that right-handed batter's box. .647 on base percentage. Here comes the pitch. Outside of ball. Got a new pitcher on the diamond. It's Cade Kitchell. Number 1, Cade Kitchell. He's a junior class member. Cade Kitchell. This is his 2nd appearance on the season. He's got 2 innings under his belt. The right-handed pitcher, primarily working from the stretch. Here comes the pitch. Foul ball off the bat of Hudson Gutwine. Might have been a double hit. We'll mention Cade Kitchell. He's allowed 5 runs. All 5 runs were earned. He's walked 4 batters. He's given up the only home run. I take that back. It was Maddox. Maddox has given up the only home run West Lafayette's team. Here comes the curveball. Breaking pitch, perfectly placed. Gutwine was locked up. It's a 1-2 count. So Cade Kitchell, well mentioned. He's allowed 4 base on balls. He has struck out 3 batters. He's faced 12, 50 pitches. And you're going to get a ground ball off the bat of Hudson Gutwine. Whitford is going to throw across the diamond from shortstop and get the put out with Aiden Heap. There's 1 out here in the top of the 3rd inning.
Now batting.
Next batter going to step in for the Knights, number 12. He's played in all 9 games, batting .259. That's Alex Schumer. .429 on base percentage. 35 plate appearances, 27 at-bats. 7 hits, 5 singles, 2 doubles. First pitch, inside edge, strike called. Left-handed batter, Alex Schumer. His brother Ryan, also a left-handed batter. Ryan at Calvin College in Michigan, playing baseball. Here comes the pitch. Pitch comes in high above the zone. Ball 1. 1 ball, 1 strike. Schumer on the season has 7 RBI. He scored 5 runs. He's walked 7 times entering today's game. Here comes the pitch. Inside and tight. Going to get him. Going to get him in that left-handed batter's box. Hit by pitch. He shrugs it off. He jogs to first base. Puts his sliding mitt on. And he's hit by pitch for the 2nd time this season. So stepping into bat, For the Knights, Lucas Gerke wears number 10, left-handed batter. 9 games, 400 batting average, 531 on base percentage. We're going to have a stretch. Now the set. Here's the pitch from Kitchell. High and outside, ball 1. 1 ball, no strikes. Lucas Gerke leads the team entering this game with 10 hits, 10, 7 singles, 3 doubles. Out of the set. Here comes the pitch. High above the zone, ball 2. Schumer is at first base. There's 1 out on the diamond. L.J. Whitford fielded the ground ball. First batter in the lineup was Hudson Gutwine. Threw a strike to Aiden Heap. There's 1 out. Out of the set. Here comes the pitch. Outside, ball 3. Lucas Gerke probably going to have the take sign. Not sure. Senior class member. Might have the green light. 3 balls, no strikes. Out of the stretch, now the set. Here comes the 3-0 pitch. High, ball 4. So Lucas Gerke didn't get a pitch to hit, and he'll walk for the 5th time this season. So 2 aboard, a hit by pitch and a ball 4 to Gerke, and the pitching coach going to jog out and talk with his infield. And we'll mention today's ball game is in parts being brought to you by Honey Creek Resort. What a beautiful place to be. Plan your vacation or maybe a weekend getaway. Honey Creek Resort with 840 acres of fantastic nature, fun, and recreation adventures are only a 1-day's drive away. Honey Creek Resort in southern Iowa, where fellow Hoosiers Beth and Terry Henderson. They have cabins, they have got a lodge, fishing, boating, golfing, horse carriages, and much more. You can go to honeycreekresort.com for all your information. It's worth looking at. Stepping into bat for the Knights. Mikey Stapleton working from the stretch. Kitchell, that's Cade Kitchell pitching for West Lafayette. Here's the pitch. Be a ground ball. Shortstop. Whitford's going to field it. He'll toss it to second base. They'll go 6-4. Try it at 3. Safe at first. And Schumer was thinking about coming down the line there at third base. He gets back to third in a hurry. So they get the out at second base. Fielder's choice. There's 2 outs here in the top of the 3rd inning. Runners at first and third. Fielder's choice right there off the bat of Mikey Stapleton. He's at first. Schumer's at third base. Stepping into bat for the Knights is number 3, Jackson Kane. Jackson Kane, the DH, he's batting in place of defensive player. Catcher, number 29, Ethan Miller. We're going to have a stretch, now the set. First pitch, you're going to take off for second base. You're going to fake a throw, they're going to let it go through. Coming in to score from third base is Alex Schumer. Safe at second base.
Schumer comes around and
right there is Lucas Gerke. So with 2 outs, he'll step back in. That's Jackson Kane. 1 ball, no strikes. Stepping back in the rubber, Cade Kitchell. Cade Kitchell wears number 1. He's a junior class member. Here comes the pitch. Swung on, he'll take one to center field. Ben Worth is going to get a beat on it. Take that back. It's going to be to second base. Fooled me. Back out on the lip of the grass, back behind the dirt. Making the catch was Lincoln Furry. And that's the 3rd out in the inning. Knights pick up 1 run here in the top of the 3rd. After 2.5, Knights 12. The Red Devils 1. And we'll also mention today's ball game is in parts being brought to you by Reynolds Farm Equipment. Family owned and operated since 1955. You can increase your yield. Tractors, combines, corn pickers, lawnmowers, etc. Genuine John Deere equipment. New and used equipment available. Extraordinarily the best in the business. That's Reynolds. Reynolds, you can visit them at their Atlanta, Indiana location. That's right on US 31, 1451 East, 276th Street, Atlanta, Indiana, 46031. That's just south on US 31 of the Hamilton-Tipton County line. And then we'll also mention 5 locations in the state of Indiana for rentals. You can reach them by phone, either location at 800-333-6947. 800-333-6947. I'm going to throw one down to second base. Now catching for the Knights is number 28, Tatum Adriano. So Adriano wears number 28. He's a freshman. Going to do the catching for Talenko.
Now batting. Number
Stepping
2,
into bat, we're going to see number 2, Ben Worth. Ben Worth, 3-hitter. Ben Worth, the center fielder. Ben Worth on the season in 7 games, batting .414, .452 on base percentage. First pitch, high and away, ball 1. Ben Worth has been to the plate 31 times, 29 at bats. He's got 12 hits. That leads the team. He's got 10 singles, 1 double, and 1 home run. Here comes the pitch. Outside, ball 2. Ben Worth also leads the team in RBI. He has 11. He scored 8 runs. He's walked only 2 times. And we'll also mention he's been left on base, team leading 16 times. You're going to foul one left side. It's going to float out of play. Ben Worth, a left-handed batter. He's got a bat through the zone right now. He reached on air twice. He has 1 stolen base. That's Ben Worth. Ben Worth is a junior class member. Here comes the pitch. Outside a ball. 3 balls, 1 strike. Talenko going to need to bring a strike, and Ben Worth plenty aware of the next pitch. Working from the windup. Peering in, looking at signals. Here comes the 3-1 pitch. Take one to right center field. Going to have some air under it, and they're going to say he made the catch. Nice catch there in right field, Alex Schumer. Schumer, an athlete in his own right. I'm not surprised of that catch. There's 1 out.
Now batting. Number 17.
So stepping into bat, going to be the 4-hitter, 17, Joe Doty. Joe Doty started this game as a pitcher. Joe Doty is a sophomore. Doty going to step in. He's played in all 7 games. Float one up. Going to be playable right side. Be called for by Schumer. He'll make the catch. And there are 2 out on the diamond. Doty, a batting average of .455. He flies out to shallow right field. Schumer.
Now batting. Number 16.
2 outs on the diamond. Stepping into bat, 5-hitter, number 16, Lincoln Furry. Lincoln Furry will also mention. Lincoln Furry is a senior class member. 7 games, batting .217, .308 on base percentage. First pitch from Talenko. Strike, breaking pitch for a strike. So Furry will mention he's been to the plate 26 times, 23 at-bats. Furry has 5 hits, 4 are singles, 1 double. Here comes the pitch. Outside a ball. 1 ball, 1 strike. Lincoln Furry, he's got 4 RBI on the season. He scored 3 runs. He's walked only 2 times. Here comes the pitch. Ground ball. Will be fielded by shortstop, Mikey Stapleton. He'll throw across the diamond. He'll get the put out with Lucas Gerke, and the Knights are out of the inning. So West Lafayette comes up with no runs, no hits, nobody left on base after 3 completes. Central Catholic 12, West Lafayette 1. And we'll also mention today's ball game is in part being brought to you by AGM Auto, AGM Auto LLC. At AGM Auto, you'll not only be treated with pure professionalism, you'll appreciate their state-of-the-art diagnostics and their up-to-date status of each of their AGM technicians. And AGM doesn't only work under the hood. AGM works toward the recovery and the restoration of the many now beautiful cars, which are now showroom treasures. And they work on cars that are antique. They bring them back to life. And I've witnessed that on my own right in their shop. And I will mention your car could be next. To contact AGM Auto, you can dial them up at 317-984-5283. Again, 984-5283 or on Facebook, AGM Auto LLC. So give him a call.
For the Knights, number 33.
Stepping in the bat for the Knights. 6-hitter, number 33, DJ Gilkey. Gilkey has already got himself aboard in this game. Couple of times he'll step in. He's played in 8 of the 9 games. He's batting 240, 296 on base percentage. Left-handed batter facing the righty, Cade Kitchell. Here comes the pitch. Outside, ball 1. DJ Gilkey entering this game, 28 plate appearances, 25 at-bats, 6 hits, 3 are singles, 3 are doubles. He's got 7 RBI. Here comes the pitch. Above the zone, ball 2. Left-handed batter, DJ Gilkey. He scored 5 runs. He's walked twice. He's reached on air 2 times. He has 1 stolen base. Out of sad, here comes the pitch. High, ball 3. Count goes 3-0. 3 balls, no strikes, DJ Gilkey. That left-handed batter's box. First batter here in the top of the 4th for Central Catholic. Out of the set. Here comes the 3-0 pitch. High above the zone, ball 4. So Gilkey will draw a walk.
Draws the walk.
He'll jog down the first
Now
base,
batting for the Knights, 41.
and he'll pick up walk number 3 on the season. Next batter going to step in. It's going to be number 41, 7-hitter. Brennan Van Kirk plays left field for the Knights. Van Kirk batting .500 on the season, .538 on base percentage. He's played in all 9 games. He takes a first pitch outside edge, strike called. No balls, 1 strike. He leads the team with the 11 hits on the season. Closest to him is Gerke. That's Lucas. He has 10. Here comes the pitch. High and away, ball 1. So 1 ball, 1 strike. 1 foot in, 1 foot out. Signals given. Coach Subordinate. Peering in, looking at signals out of the stretch. Cade Kitchell out of the set position. Runner at first base for the Knights is Gilkey. Swing and a miss. Healthy cut. Swing and a miss. Count goes 1-2. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Brennan Van Kirk. Brennan Van Kirk will step back in. A junior class member, 6'2", 175. Breaking pitch finishes. Try to block it off the glove of Snyder. Gets behind him. He'll retrieve it. By that time, Gilkey is at second base.
Gilkey steals second on the pass ball.
So stepping back in, Brennan Van Kirk, right-handed batter, straightaway stance. They're playing him straight up in the infield. They're playing him straight away in the outfield. Giving him some respect in left field. Here comes the pitch. Outside the ball. Snyder's going to throw to third base, and a nice effort. They're going to call him out. They're going to say Gilkey head first slide is out, and Snyder lost the baseball, picked it up, and threw it from his knees, Johnny Bench style. So Snyder throws him out. Gilkey is off the base paths. There's 1 out, 3-2 count. 3-2 count to Brennan Van Kirk. Here comes the pitch. Going to ground ball. Third base side, couldn't play it. Going to get by underneath the glove there. Underneath the glove of Corbin Keene. Corbin Keene didn't try to gator it. He tried to stab it, and it got underneath the glove.
Now batting.
So probably going to be an error. Going to reach on air would be the call for Van Kirk, but he's on base. So stepping in, 8-hitter, number 13, Calvin Reisman. Center fielder. Reisman, he's played in 7 of the 9 games. He's got an on-base percentage of .261. Here comes the pitch. High and away, ball 1. He's just 10 points off of that average, batting average that Put Me in Sports cannot say under 200. Do the math, and you know what his average is. 23 plate appearances, 21 at-bats. Calvin Reisman, he's got 4 hits, 2 singles, 2 doubles. Here comes the pitch. Outside of ball, count goes 2-0. Reisman on the season, he got a base hit in this. I take that back. He got an RBI. RBI in this game. He has 2 now, and he scored 5 runs. He's walked twice. Here comes the pitch. Swing on. Here we go to left field. Going to get a lot of it. Going to back up the left fielder. It's going to get over his head. He'll pick it up prior to the wall. That was Colin Castens. And getting back to third base, safe at third, is Van Kirk. And it's going to be a double off the bat of Calvin Reisman. That ball looked like it could get out of here in left field, but it fell just short of the bottom of the fence. So Calvin Reisman picks up his third double on the season. He now has 5 hits. Stepping in, Gus Sandberg going to bat. Gus Sandberg going to bat for Vince Telenko, 9-hitter. So Sandberg, right-handed batter, working from the stretch. Now the set. Here's the pitch from Kitchell. Strike called, outside edge. Gus Sandberg on the season. He's got an on-base percentage of .375. He's played in 8 of the 9 games. 8 plate appearances, 6 at-bats. This is his 9th plate appearance. Pitch comes in, identical, strike called. No balls, 2 strikes. Gus Sandberg has 1 hit on the season. He's got 2 RBI. He scored a run, and he's walked twice. Out of the set, Cade Kitchell. Here's the pitch. Take a stroke. He'll go to third base. Going to be a short hop. Corbin Keene makes a strong arm throw to Aiden Heap to get the out. So pretty good play there athletically for Corbin Keene after a not so good play. So he's a good guy. I tell you what, I'm going to be looking at him in the future years. So stepping in, going to bat again. It's Hudson Gutwein. 2 outs on the diamond. We're in the top of the 4th inning. Runners at second and third for the Knights. Right-handed batting, Hudson Gutwein. First pitch from Kitchell. Breaking pitch, low and away. Good block there by Snyder. Kept it laterally to him, and base runners have to stay put. So jogging back to the pitcher's rubber. That's number 1, Cade Kitchell, junior class member. I look down at this list, and I see 5 seniors and some underclassmen. Out of the set, Kitchell. Here comes the pitch. Pitch comes in high and tight. Ball 2. So Hudson Gutwein, as mentioned, has played in 8 of the 9 games. He was under the weather for 1 game. Didn't get a play. .429 batting average. Entering this game for the .647 on base percentage. Here comes a 2-0 pitch. Outside edge, strike call. Count goes 2-1. Gutwein on the season, he has 9 hits. And we'll mention he has 5 singles. He has 4 doubles. Out of the set, Kitchell. Here comes a 2-1 pitch. Outside edge, strike call. Gutwein going to have to realize that's the zone. Going to have to swing the bat. Count goes 2-2. Straightaway stance. Peering in, looking at signals. Cade Kitchell. Out of the set. Here comes a 2-2 pitch. Going to strike him out with a curveball. Breaking pitch. And he'll set down. He'll walk back to the dugout. And the Knights are out of the inning. They leave 2 aboard. And we'll mention after 3.5, Knights 12, Red Devils 1. And I will again mention this game is in parts being brought to you by Scott G. Scott G, when time is good, when you share, you should. Share and share alike. Support Indiana middle school and high school athletics. We'll talk about games coming up next week. Games coming up next week for Central Catholic. On Monday, the 28th, it'll be a 5:30 ball game. Lafayette Central Catholic will travel to Rensselaer Central. Rensselaer Central from my driveway is 100 miles. That's not too bad. And then we'll also mention the next day on the 29th, since Rensselaer Central will be at Central Catholic. That'll be a 6 o'clock start. And then on 5/1, that's a Thursday, May the 1st, 6 o'clock start, Harrison will be at Central Catholic. That's the Harrison Raiders. And then another 6 o'clock start next Friday. That's May the 2nd. Rossville will be at Central Catholic. West Lafayette schedule. Schedule for West Lafayette next week, 6 o'clock start on Monday the 28th. North Montgomery will be right here with West Lafayette. And then 5:30 start on the next day on Tuesday the 29th. Benton Central will be here with West Lafayette. And then on the next day, that's a Wednesday, 5:30, West Lafayette will be at Benton Central. That'll be a Hoosier Conference 2-game matchup. And then 5:30 on the Friday, the 2nd of May, Frontier will be here with West Lafayette. So stepping in, bottom of the 4th inning. First pitch from Talenko. Breaking pitch finishes high, ball 1. In the batter's box, number 6, Braylon Crisp. Crisp played in 7 games. He's got a .296 on base percentage. He's got 3 hits, 2 singles, 1 double. Here's the pitch. Low for ball 2. Braylon Crisp has 27 plate appearances in 7 games, 22 at-bats. He's scored 2 runs. He has walked 4 times. He's reached base on air twice. He's been hit by pitch 1 time. Here comes the wind and the pitch from Talenko. Swing and a miss. Might have got the umpire, not sure. But he's going to walk out. He's going to check on the catcher. Might have got Adriano. Everybody's taking care of each other down there. The ball hits you. You get some time to wear it off. So working from the windup, 2 balls, 1 strike. Vince Talenko. Here's the pitch to Crisp. He's going to pop one up. He'll go to right center field. It's going to be called for by the right fielder, and Alex Schumer makes the catch.
Schumer makes the play in right.
So 1 out, bottom of the 4th inning. Next batter going to step in. It's going to be number 24, the catcher, Calvin Snyder. Calvin Snyder in 7 games, he's played in all 7, batting .389 in that right-handed batter's box, .478 on base percentage. First pitch from Talenko, he'll drive one. It's going to be foul, out of play. No balls, 1 strike to Calvin Snyder. 23 plate appearances, 18 at-bats. He's got 1 hit in this ball game, and it is a double. I was sad. Here comes a pitch. Breaking pitch finishes inside. 1-1 count. Calvin Snyder last night got his first home run of the season at Central Catholic, left field. Working from the windup. Peering in, looking at signals. Vince Talenko, here's the pitch. Going to take one to center field. Going to be pretty much right at Calvin Reisman. He'll move to his left and make the catch. 2 outs on the diamond, stepping in. Going to bat here in the bottom of the 4th. Number 14, Fisher Trosky. Fisher Trosky, a junior class member. He's got an on-base percentage of .381. He's played in 6 of the 7 games. Right-handed batter. Working from the windup, Vince Talenko. Here's the pitch. Outside, ball 1. Trosky steps back in. 21 plate appearances, 15 at-bats. He got 2 hits. 1's a single, 1 is a double. He has scored 2 runs. He has walked 4 times. Pitch comes in. Inside edge, strike called. Count goes 1-1. 1 ball, 1 strike, right-handed batter facing the righty. Vince Talenko working from the windup. Here comes the 1-1 pitch. Swung on, he'll take it right side. Out of play. Giving it a good look was Lucas Gerke. Ran out of real estate. Count goes 1-2. 1 ball, 2 strikes. 2 outs. Number 14, Fisher Trosky, batting here in the bottom of the 4th. Here comes the wind and the pitch. Going to take one the other way. Foul ball, out of play. Fisher Trosky getting rid of those baseballs. He's looking for the good one. Fisher Trosky has reached on air 1 time. He's been left on base 11 times on the season. Here comes the pitch. Breaking pitch. It's going to be a base hit. And it'll be played there by Mikey Stapleton in the hole. He'll throw across the diamond. They're going to say he got him. In the hole, backhand. Toughest throw you can make. Mikey Stapleton throws a strike to Gerke at first base. And they just do get Fisher Trosky for out number 3. So we'll go to the top of the 5th inning at the end of 4 complete. Central Catholic 12, West Lafayette 1. And we'll also mention today's ball game is in parts being brought to you by Lisa Stokes Bear, Century 21. Real estate IQ that will work for the benefit of you. That's Lisa. Lisa Stokes Bear specializes in residential and corporate relocations. A vast knowledge with more than 25 years of question answering experience. Let Lisa look or let Lisa list. Each home is precious. Lisa Stokes Bear, Century 21, Sheets Company. That's in Marion County. That's just across the county line from the south to the north. If you went to the north, that's Hamilton County line across the street, 96th Street, Indianapolis. She's highly recommended, a real estate agent, a real estate broker, to contact Lisa Stokes Bear by phone or text message. You can reach her at 317 513 4086. That's 317 513 4086. So the Knight's going to step in to bat here in the top of the fifth, getting his final warm-up tosses. Number 1, Cade Kitchell, doing the pitching. Cade Kitchell. Going to throw one down, Calvin Snyder. I'm going to find L.J. Whitford to throw it around the horn. And Keene tosses it behind his back to teammate Cade Kitchell. So stepping in, we're going to see Colton Minnick. Colton Minnick, number 5, going to bat for the Knights.
Now batting for the Knights.
So he'll step in, right-handed batter. Colton Minnick, 6 games, 17 at-bats. I should say 17 plate appearances, 12 at-bats. First pitch, swing and a miss. Healthy cut. Colton Minnick, he's got a .333 on-base percentage. He's got 2 hits on the season. 1 is a single, 1 is a double. He's got 3 RBI. He scored 3 runs, and he's walked 3 times. Out of the set, here's the pitch from Kitchell. Breaking pitch outside, ball 1. 1 ball, 1 strike. Colton Minnick has 3 RBI on the season. Out of the set, here comes the pitch to Minnick. Breaking pitch stays high, ball 2. 2 balls, 1 strike. Minnick can step back in. He's reached on air 1 time. Out of the set for Kitchell. Here comes the pitch, the 2-1 pitch. Swing and a miss. Count goes even at 2-2. Might have took some speed off that. A little bit of an off-speed pitch from Kitchell. We'll mention Corbin Keene is just a little bit inside the bag there at third base, closer to home plate. Working from the stretch. Cade Kitchell. Long Pierre out of the stretch. Now the set position. Here comes a 2-2 pitch. Outside, ball 3. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Colton Minnick getting a chance to bat here in the top of the 5th inning for the Knights. Peering in, looking at signals. Cade Kitchell. Out of the stretch. Now the set position. Here comes the pitch. Above the zone, ball 4. So Colton Minnick will jog to first base. Colton Minnick is aboard with his 4th walk on the season.
Now batting, number 14.
Next batter going to step in. We're to see number 14, Jonah Gerke, but I'm going to call timeout on the field. Coach Aaron Wood going to walk out. He's going to ask for the baseball. He's going to pat him on the back. Cade Kitchell did his duty. And Coach Aaron Wood's going to call in another relief pitcher, and they'll get some warm-ups. And now he's going to hand the baseball right there, and we'll capture that in a moment. So, and we'll remind you, this game is in parts being brought to you by Noblesville Trophies. Noblesville Trophies, you can shop them online at noblesvilletrophies.com or stop in, if only to browse around. They're located at 1740 South 10th Street, Noblesville, Indiana. They have trophies, awards, plaques, and more. Fast turnaround. Prices are low. They're so low, you may want to be a repeat customer. That's Noblesville Trophies, 1740 South 10th Street, Noblesville, Indiana, 46060. They're open Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m., You can reach them by phone at 317-773-7391. Again, that number is 317-773-7391 or online, noblesvilletrophies.com. So on the pitcher's rubber, getting loose right there is number 10, Aiden Heap. Aiden Heap, he walks over from first base, takes the baseball from Coach Aaron Wood. He's getting some warm-ups right now. Aiden Heap is a senior. Aiden Heap, we'll mention, he's having appearance number 3 on the season. He's pitched 2 innings thus far. He's given up 5 runs. 4 were earned. He's walked 3 batters. He's faced 15 batters. He's thrown a total of 63 pitches. He's walked 3, as mentioned, and he has take it back. He has struck out 3, and he's on the pitcher's rubber right now. And the guys on the infield leaving him right now. A little bit of encouragement. Outfield's going to spread out. He's getting some final warm-up tosses right there with Calvin Snyder, his catcher. And we're going to see Jonah Gerke. Jonah Gerke going to bat here in the top of the 5th inning. Jonah Gerke getting his 6th plate appearance on the season. So Jonah Gerke going to step in. He's got 2 RBI. He's scored 2 runs. He's reached on air 1 time. He has 1 stolen base. And he's been caught stealing 1 time. Out of the set, Aiden Heap. Here's the pitch. Swung on, ground ball up the middle. Going to be fielded there by second baseman. They go 4-6, try to get 3, but safe at first is Gerke. So Jonah Gerke beats it out. They go 4-6-3. That's Lincoln Furry to LJ Whitford. Try to get it over to Aiden, to Heap. Take that back. First baseman now is Lincoln Furry.
Now batting for the Knights.
So there's 1 out here in the top of the 5th inning. Runner at first base, fielder's choice, is Jonah Gerke. Out of the set. Here comes the pitch. First pitch in there for a strike. Mikey Stapleton, the batter. No balls, 1 strike. Step back in. Righty facing a righty. Out of stretch, checks first base. Now the set position. Here comes the pitch. Lets it go by. Strike called. Count goes 0-2 to Stapleton. No balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. Top of the 5th inning. Knights batting. Out of the set position. Here comes the pitch from Heap. Short up the glove. Calvin Snyder with a good block. Keeps Jonah Gerke safe at first base. 1-2 count. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Stapleton steps back in. Peering in, looking at signals. Aiden Heap. Out of the stretch, he'll check first. Now the set position. Checks it again. Here's the pitch. He'll take 1. He'll drive 1 to left field. Got a lot of air under it. Colin Caston's going to make the catch. Caston makes the catch in left field. And jogging off the diamond is Mikey Stapleton. So 2 outs here in the top of the 5th.
Now batting.
Next batter, we're going to see number 28, Tatum Adriano. Adriano, a freshman athlete. He'll step in, bat right. So Jonah Gerke still at first base. Peering in, looking at signals. Aiden Heap out of the stretch, checks first base. Now the set position. Here comes the pitch. Right across the dish, strike called. No balls, 1 strike. Adriano steps back in. Working from the stretch, peering in, looking at signals from Calvin Snyder. Aiden Heap out of the set position, time called. Adriano, too much concentration time. Wasn't a whole lot of time there, but he'll step back in with that timeout granted. Out of set. Heap, here's the pitch. He'll take 1 to center field. Ben Worth going to have to come in a long way. He's going to bounce in front of him. He'll pick it up off the grass. A base hit for Adriano. Moving to second base is Jonah Gerke. Getting ready to bat here with 2 outs. Knights going to send to the plate DJ Gilkey. left-handed batter. DJ Gilkey on the season batting 240, on base percentage of 296. He's played in 8 of the 9 games. Out of set, Heap. First pitch to Gilkey. High and away, ball 1. 1 ball, no strikes. Left-handed batter, severely open stance. Gets a good look at the baseball with that open stance. Peering in, looking at signals. Out of set, check second base. Here comes the 1-0. Outside, ball 2. 2 balls, no strikes. Knights have 2 aboard, first and second base. Adriano is at first base, and Jonah Gerke is at second base. Out of set position, Aiden Heap. Here's the pitch. Outside edge, strike called. Count goes 2-1. 2 balls, 1 strike, 2 outs. Top of the 5th inning. We're at West Lafayette, off-campus baseball field. A beautiful place to be. Pitch comes in. You're going to take one the other way. It's going to float out of play. Left side. And it actually didn't get out of play. Picked up there against the fence by Corbin Keene. And home plate umpire looking for a baseball replenishment. So 2 balls, 2 strikes to DJ Gilkey. Peering in, looking at signals. Aiden Heap. Out of the set position. You'll check second base. Here's the 2-2 pitch to Gilkey. Take a ground ball, second base. Going to be fielded there. You'll toss it to second base. Second baseman ready to play. And they get the out of. So Whitford gets the put out at second. The Knights are retired in the top of the 5th. And the Knights are going to play defensively after 4.5. Knights 12. Red Devils 1. And we'll also mention today's ball game is in parts being brought to you by Discount Copies. Discount Copies, conveniently located at the west edge of Noblesville, Indiana. That's 46062. Just behind Pizza Hut and next to Bowl 32. They're along State Road 32. At Discount Copies, they provide set-up services where you can turn your artwork into things such as note cards, notepads, prints, and calendars. And it's never too early to think about personalized Christmas cards, posters, and oversized printing, also available. And if you're planning a wedding, they can print all of your necessary needs. You ought to call them. You can reach Discount Copies by phone, 317-773-8783. Again, that number is 317-773-8783, or by email. That's Discount Copies, the number 96@gmail.com. That's Discount Copies 96@gmail.com. Stepping into bat, Corbin Keene. Right-handed batter takes the first pitch, ball low. 1 ball, no strikes. Pitching here in the bottom of the 5th inning is Vince Telenko. He has gone the distance. Working from the windup. Here comes the wind and the pitch. Can be a ground ball. Shortstop backhanded on 1 hop by Mikey Stapleton. Strong arm throw across the diamond. And he'll get the put out with Jonah Gerke. So with 1 out, next batter going to step in. It's going to be number 12, Blake Biddle. Blake Biddle, sophomore athlete. Blake Biddle going to step in. He's got a 500 batting average. 500 on base. He's played in 6 ball games. This is the 7th. He's got 2 plate appearances and 2 at-bats. He's got a single on the season. First pitch comes in above the zone, ball 1. 1 ball, no strikes. Biddle has been left on base the 1 time. He has a stolen base after that base hit. Here comes the pitch. He tries to check his swing. Then let's say foul tip in the glove, strike called. 1 ball, 1 strike. Step back in, tap the plate far and near. Working from the windup, Vince Talenko. Here comes the 1-1 pitch. Breaking pitch in there for a strike. Talenko, command of the curveball. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Stepping back in, Blake Biddle for West Lafayette Red Devils. Here comes the pitch. Breaking pitch finishes away. Ball 2. 2-2 count. Blake Biddle, sophomore athlete. He looks like he has exactly what it takes. Here comes the wind and the 2-2. Swing and miss. Going to set him down swinging, and there are 2 outs here in the bottom of the 5th inning. Next batter going to step in. It's going to be number 22, Evan Kane. Evan Kane is a senior class member. Evan Kane going to step in. Going to bat for the first time this season. Right-handed batter. Working from the windup. Here's the pitch. Low and short off the glove. Adriano with a good stop. 1 ball, no strikes. Working from the windup. Vince Talenko in the batter's box. Ooh, inside and tight for ball 1. Let's take that back. Ball 2. First one was high. It's a 2-0 count. 2 balls, no strikes. Here comes from the windup. Here comes the pitch. Outside edge, strike home. It's number 22, Evan Kane. 2 balls, 1 strike. Working from the windup. Here comes the wind and the 2-1 pitch. Ground ball back up the middle. Mikey Stapleton's going to glove it. He'll throw to first base. And they'll get the put out with Jonah Gerke. And that's going to complete today's ball game.
That's the ball game, ladies and
So
gentlemen.
5 innings go by. Knight's going to capture a win after a loss last night in 8 innings to West Lafayette. So they split and they win on each other's diamond. So the Knights get the win, 12-1 contest. The Knights will play on Friday. Knights will play Friday, weather permitting. West Lafayette Jeff Broncos will be at Central Catholic Friday, 6 o'clock start on the 25th of April. And then West Lafayette will also play Friday, weather permitting. Covington will be here at West Lafayette on Friday, a 5:30 start. We thank you for tuning in. We thank Brian, public address, and Jason, the scoreboard operator. What hospitality you get here at West Lafayette. And we were happy to be able to speak with head football coach Shane Fry, talk about his family. Thank you for listening. We'll talk to you Friday, no matter if you're home or away. If you're doing the teaching and the learning, don't let him go. Keep the fire burning. If you want to hold tight, we'll probably talk to Coach Bordnay here in just a bit. Wasn't nothing like 3 hours. No, that was the opposite. That was an hour and 45.
You did that game last night?
Yeah, I did all the games.
Oh,
That 9 years now.
I like football better.
Yeah. Basketball's fun. I got the interview Coach Aaron's dad. He's a basketball coach. What a nice guy.
Yeah, he's great. I was with him last week.
He's in Florida right today. Aaron's supposed to call him about this thing.
You want some air before I close that one?
I'll shut it.
Okay, cool.
Nice meeting you.
Fine.
I'll see you again.
Well, they don't go anywhere.
Good. 7 years here, huh? Yeah, we've been in town here 7 years or so. My son's an 8th grader. Jason obviously was up here a little while ago. Oh, good. 7th grader had a game tonight elsewhere. And this is the first time. I've done some JV, varsity and JV girls volleyball. I've done some junior high football. So you're doing well, but keep asking me to come back. So I got a help card game tomorrow night. Oh gosh, I can't do that. Middle school. Yeah, I can't do that. No. Sir. Closer to home though. Where's home? Hamilton Heights. Oh, okay. Same to Zionsville. Actually, the Zionsville athletic director is the former first base coach for here for 10 years. They got the athletic director job over there. I'll get to see him tomorrow. All right, well, we shall see you, son. All right, thank you for your help. Thank you. We're post game right now. I'm going to talk to Coach Bourdonnais. Coach Bourdonnais, I tell you what, Coach, you're working up a sweat like you were playing second base.
It was a beautiful night. Finally had some baseball weather, 80 and sunny and a little wind. So it was a really nice night to play. And I thought our guys really responded after a tough one last night, let one get away last night, but our kids were really locked in and focused today. And, Vince Talenko did a great job on the mound, and defensively we were solid as we could be. So really, really pleased with our bounce back effort tonight.
Very well, Coach. And I look at Max Preps, I can't really tell. I know we got a Hoosier Conference. We got maybe an East and a West, small school, big school. Can you tell us how that pans out?
We have East-West Conference, and so we're in the West Conference. Unfortunately, last night's loss could be tough for us to win our division. We need some help next week when Twin Lakes plays Benton Central. Need Benton Central to win a game, or otherwise we're going to be playing for second. So anyway, just nice to come back and get a victory tonight, and try to get on a roll here now.
Every Friday, you're supposed to have a game. Mother Nature's trying to say different.
Well, we'll be ready to play. Our field takes a lot of water, and we'll be excited. Get the chance to play Lafayette Jeff. It's always a big game for the city championship. So I know our guys will be ready and fired up, but hopefully Mother Nature cooperates.